kind of stumbled out of the blocks there, huh?
It's all right, Jordan. Down to business. Fucking dies.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to another week of the Stadium Experience with Jake Elmsley. Jordan Moment here alongside me, and you know what? Before we start here, I guess, Jordan, I think we should just take some time to reflect on how good of a week this past week was in sports. You know, we saw the World Cup final. Maybe, some are calling it the greatest sporting event in history. Certainly up there. I mean, really a storybook kind of moment there for the future MLS star Messi, and Mbappe there, the young gun, really cementing his place with a hat trick on the world stage. Just again, with the eyes of the entire planet watching, just a beautiful game that really reminds you of everything that makes us really love sports as fans, Jordan. Just a lot of the clear, perfect beauty of athletics and its ability to somehow pit us against each other, yet bring us all together at the same time. And I
actually cried.
Yeah, and I think that's really all that's worth talking about from this past week. So I think maybe we should just end the show here and not worry about I think the Patriots just grinded out another close win over an inferior team and just kind of won on defense and a kind of efficient offense, if I'm not mistaken. I stopped watching the game with about 5 seconds to go. I had to go to the bathroom, so but it was tied game. I assume they just kind of gutted it out in overtime, or maybe just lost a close one. I don't know. Maybe just some good, clean play there in overtime by both teams. But again, I think that's it. I think that's the end of the show, Jordan. I assume that the Red Sox have had a very good couple of days rebounding from the Xander Bogaerts, or the lack of a Xander Bogart signing. I assume the Celtics have been firing on all cylinders. They had a couple games against the Magic. I'm sure those were good. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all we got to talk about, Jordan, right? I mean, I can't think of anything else that could have happened this week.
We could talk about the resounding victory of the Vikings over the Colts.
Yes. Oh my God, a classic comeback, right? Yeah. Again, another beautiful game. Another great game that really reminds you why you like sports. You have an all-time player like Kirk Cousins coming back from down 33-0. I mean, come on, why talk about anything else? I don't think there's anything else worth talking about for this week, if you ask me. So I think we'll just ignore the fact that the Patriots the Patriots coached by Bill Belichick, who have always been lauded for their ability to not beat themselves, for their cohesion, discipline as a unit, playing, kind of as a team, really even overcoming talent deficits some years. Just doing a really good job playing disciplined, well-executed situational football, Jordan. Really what they've been lauded for over the years. Maybe we don't need to acknowledge the fact that they maybe did the single dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Again, Jordan, maybe the greatest sporting event in the world happened this week. Maybe we just talk about Messi all day. Maybe we try it, Jordan. We try on a little bit of soccer chat, a little bit of football, we'll call it football. It was football for them, Brittany Griner got freed. I think that's a beautiful example of again the general sporting community coming together. The Phoenix Suns got bought today. I love it when rich people get to make more money. I think that really warms my heart too. So again, Jordan, I just don't see any real rhyme or reason to talk about the Patriots this week. But if you really want to, Jordan, because you look like you're on the edge of your seat. You're really excited about it. I wish I had a fake tombstone to pull out right now, Jordan. Because the Patriots are dead, absolutely dead. My Lord. Again, Jordan, you want this. You're asking for this. You're sitting there like, no. The beautiful game can go shove it. The world's game that's beloved, greatest game again. Maybe in the history of all sports. I don't want to talk about that. I love talking about the Patriots season dying on the Vegas Strip. I know that's what you want. the continued curse of Bill Belichick's inability to beat his own former coaches. I don't know what it is. He has like the worst coaching tree in history. Per capita, I assume. Can't beat any of them except for Bill O'Brien. You can't. Great against Bill O'Brien. Can't beat the rest of them. No. So, yeah, no, Drew, you want to talk about it? We'll talk about it, I guess. Let's see. Let's go over the positives first, all right? We're going to go over the positives first. Kyle Duggar. Pretty good. Good pick six. More Derek Carr being sucky than him, but you know what? Picked it off. Pretty good. Big play for them. Last week, Jordan, I complained a lot about how they just refused to try and push the ball at all. This week, they did. It didn't work a lot of the time. It didn't work, but they were trying. Their average depth of target was 10 yards this game, which I'm pretty sure last week it was like 5. So I think they legitimately doubled it. And I noticed it. I didn't even need that number. I didn't get that number until today. While I was watching the game, I noticed it felt like they were pushing the ball more, which was good, which they need to do to some extent. You know, not like the beginning of the year. Excuse me. They just kept taking deep shots at Devontae Parker. And also not like the last 3 weeks where they only threw screens the whole game. So good. Ramondre Stevenson. Wow, what a beast, Jordan. 172 yards. 126 of those yards were after contact. On 19 carries.
Good production.
Man is a monster, and the Raiders' run defense is Charmin soft. And other positives. When they were driving, when it was like 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter, I almost ordered a beer for overtime, but I didn't. I said, I'll wait till we get to overtime. I'll wait, and I did it, so I didn't have to spend money on a beer I didn't want. So that was good. That was a win for me, I feel like. I just saw that, and I left. I was out. I cashed out, and I left. It was great to have to hang out. Everybody else who was there went out and smoked a cigarette they'd been waiting on. Because I convinced them to wait like a moron. I was like, well, it's like 10 seconds left in overtime. Wait, and then go. seconds left in the fourth. Wait, and then go smoke. And then come back in for overtime. Didn't even need to wait for overtime. There was no overtime. So a lot of positives to go around, Jordan, I say. But otherwise, all right, what was bad for the Patriots? What was bad for them? I'd say almost everything else. No, I wouldn't say everything else. You know, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. Because when you see a team lose and I assume that you've seen this play, not you, anybody listening. I assume you've seen, because it's been everywhere. If you watched ESPN for 5 seconds at any point in the last video, they've been playing it every 10 seconds, which of course they have. Why wouldn't they? How could you not? It'll literally never happen again. But when somebody, when something like that happens, I didn't know what to say. I still don't really know what to say. Because it's, after the fact we learned, wasn't a play calling issue. At least if, like, Jacoby Myers is to be believed. He said it was completely him. He just got the lateral and he was like, I want to be a hero. Which led to me lateraling it backwards 40 yards to Mac Jones for some reason. Which I believe him. I don't know if you feel differently, Jordan. Do you think Jacoby Myers is to be believed?
No.
No. Okay. Interesting. I fully, but just because I can't think of any other rational reason. But you don't. So you think the call was some nutty lateral play?
I think Matt Patricia and or Joe Judge, they thought that they're going to like, ooh, look at this Josh McDaniels guy, this so-called offensive genius.
Okay.
We can think of something better than him. We can put our heads together and come up with a creative out of the blue play and catch them off guard. And
you see, I don't at all.
That was probably the result of it.
I don't at all. I'll be on. If that was their bad plan, atrocious plan. Also, not even a good version of that plan. So that I don't believe. I don't believe at all. I 1,000,000%. Like, this is the same team that, like.
Well, I mean, why else would you?
Draw. Because. Well, I mean, the draw is whatever. 40. Like the draw is what, because you don't want to attempt a Hail Mary and you just kind of want to run the clock out and you're like, all right, whatever. Like, maybe. Like, maybe they're not expecting it, and they have, like, 8 back, and Ramondre Stevenson is our best player by a mile on offense. He's been running free all day, and he got he went 40 yards, I think, before he started laddering it, and you're like, all right, worst case, we go to over, because it's a tie game, you know. Worst case is, you think worst case is he gets brought down, and then we go to overtime. Makes perfect sense. Makes plenty of sense to me. And then even the first lateral, you're like, all right, I mean, he's right behind you. Maybe. Why not? And then I think that Jacoby, and again, this is according to Jacoby, he just got the ball and I don't know, just forgot what the score was. Just got the lateral and went a little lateral crazy there, baby. Because I can't imagine that they just, what the play call was just, just go out there and just start chucking it to each other. It'll be fine. Just go nuts. Because you think then you'd at least maybe have like somebody like behind him or literally anything besides Mac Jones just standing, clearly not ready for the ball. Like Mac was just standing there like it was a normal run play. Like he was just out of the play, and then there comes the ball sailing overhead. So no, I fairly firmly disagree with you. I'll not make this one a play. However, everything does still come back to coaching, Jordan, and we'll get to that. We're working our way there, don't you worry. But yeah, no, so that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen, and that's not even, I don't even really want to focus on that too much. A, because I just don't know how to talk about it. I don't know how to, I don't know, and maybe that's me being a hack, and I'm like, well, I either want to blame things on the coaching or the quarterback play, and I feel like I can't really put that on either directly. But you know, I don't know. It's really dumb. It's inconceivably all time type of dumb. Truly and genuinely all time type of dumb. All time, like it might bring Jacoby Myers contract down. Also, another reason I stand to believe Jacoby Myers, I don't think you lie about that 3 weeks away from free agency. If I'm being honest. I think 3 weeks away from being a free agent for the first time in your career, you probably don't lie about that. God bless him for taking ownership, honestly. Like a great, big, being a man stuff right there. I don't think you lie about that when you're 3 weeks away from making more than $800,000 for the first time in your career. So, yeah, again, I kind of don't know how to evaluate it other than just go, oh, that's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's not even like they made the wrong decision in that situation. They just, I don't know, it's dumb. But a lot of other dumb. What?
I think they made the wrong decision.
I mean, whatever. Like the draw is the safest thing you can do in that situation, right? Like it should be the safe. It's whatever. I don't even care. Whatever.
The safest thing would just take a knee.
Yeah, fair enough. But again, like seconds. Okay, fair enough. Second safest thing you could do in that situation. But either way, like, fine. Like you want to hand it off to Ramondre. Like, fine. Go crazy. Go nuts. If he had fumbled the ball, Jacoby Myers is right. They probably don't go all the way back if it's a fumble. The only situation where it goes wrong is if you lateral the ball 3 times, then it lands directly in the hands of a defender with a sitting Mac Jones in front of him. Mac Jones was literally like sitting when the ball got there. I don't even know how he got to the ground like that. So whatever though, like you either catch you off ground or you want to run the clock down, whatever, fine. Because they didn't want to do a Hail Mary.
You can't throw that far.
Allegedly. Which again, I can believe that if they have no confidence, this team can pull off a 55-yard passing play, by the way. Less of just solely a Mac Jones arm thing, more than this offense has absolutely zero cohesion, and even on the plays where Mac throws the ball well, the receivers are running the wrong routes or breaking at the wrong time, or the protection isn't correct. And Jordan, we're gonna explain that through a segment here, Jordan. We're gonna do a segment.
Ooh.
You ready? You ready for a segment? I think this is a segment we've done before, where I try and explain the game through the prism of a single sequence.
Okay.
I think we'll tell this. I think we'll call. I think I've done this before. I think we'll call this sequential art. With I don't have a funny artist name. Whatever. Sequential art starting now. Could be sponsored by your business. If you're out there, maybe we get like Michael's in on this or something. You like that?
Michael's Arts and Crafts.
Oh yeah, like sequential art sponsored by Michael's or something.
I feel like I haven't been in a Michael's since like 2013.
Well, there you go. That's why they need the boost. That's why they need us on their team, you know? But anyway, so everybody remembers this. So the Patriots' second drive, basically. I don't know how like clued into this you were at the time, Jordan. But the Patriots' second drive, they have the ball. They get to the 2-yard line. Because again, the Patriots' offense at points looked okay in this game. Not entirely atrocious. They were on the 2-yard line of the Raiders, right? First down. Gave the ball to Ramondre, 1-yard gain, whatever. You know. Whatever, fine. Second and 1. On the 1-yard line. Jonnu Smith, wide open. Mac completely airmails him. Just misses it. Bad throw. Bad throw, misses him. Then they snap the ball on third down. Get a touchdown. However, turned out that they had called a timeout. Like right before the ball got snapped, which then Mac got very pissy about, because he's getting real mad there on the field now. Man is not containing his emotions, which we'll talk about in a moment. So that gets wiped off. Then 3rd and 1 again, like just another play doesn't work. I don't remember if it was I don't think it was like an egregious miss by Mac, right? But just, they tried to throw it to Nelson Aguilar, it doesn't work. Then 4th and 1, they run a QB sneak. It works. He gets in. However, Jonnu Smith was not set, so it's a false start. And then they kick the field goal. So for those of you at home, within 3 plays, they put the ball in the end zone twice. And then, one time, due to their own lack of communication, and the second time, due to their own lack of execution. Again, Jordan, then they settled the field goal, which they made in a game where, Jordan, you think maybe their thinking on the last play of the game might have been a little bit differently if they were up by 4 instead of it being a tied ball game? You think maybe I think maybe in that situation you take the knee, Jordan. I know you're crazy about knees.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they call you Joint Jordan, because you're crazy about knees.
That is what they call me. Yes.
Like, hey,
one
you got
my many nicknames.
But yeah. Which again, Jordan, as we wrap up our segment here, sequential art, sponsored by maybe you at home. It's so good because it embodies everything that's wrong with them offensively. When they get the play right, when the play's fine, the quarterback can't make it work. The quarterback just can't hit the guys. When they get the play right, when they get it right and they are able to execute, oh no, the coaches, like, they called a timeout because this team cannot call a play with more than 10 seconds on the play clock. I don't know, like, what level of, like, I don't know if you noticed that in this game, Jordan. It's like every play,
a few times.
It was like almost every play in this game, they're like barely getting it in. They're like barely, or like I think they had like 3 false starts. They got to a point where they were just like taking false starts instead of taking timeouts. They don't want to be out of timeouts. Which then would put them in an insurmountable 2nd and 15 situation. But yeah, like when they get it right, like they're not communicating properly. Oh, and now Mac Jones is like pissed off. Like now he's just like ranting and raving about himself. And then on 4th down, which by the way, I think we talked about this in the past, Jordan. I think we maybe talked about this a couple weeks ago, maybe like a month ago, where I mentioned where it's like Mac Jones is doing such like simple things incorrectly. Like such like noted, like we talked about his progressions, I think. I don't remember what game it was after. It was after the Colts game? I think it was after the Colts game. Doesn't matter. Like some game this year where Mac Jones didn't play good. And we were talking about how like, yeah, most of them, exactly. Where we were although I think he's done like 1 pick in like 2 months now, which they said, so he's cut down on that. So that's, 4 weeks of a steady screen diet will do that for you, I guess. But we talked about how I feel like even when he's doing these things wrong that are like so obvious that like I'm noticing them, right? So I'm sure that like Matt Patricia, who's like been a professional football coach for some period of time, probably notices them, or Joe Judge probably notices them. That even like if they're noticing them, like you think that Mac's listening to them at this point. Like, and even if they're like, hey, Mac, like Johnny's like not set, like he's not set, like make sure that he's set. You think he's probably like, shut the fuck up, shut up, like, I don't want to listen to you guys. And I don't know, probably part of why that's happening now, like it all runs together. It's a mess. The whole thing's a mess, which we know it's a mess. But they've been beating bad teams at least, and now they lost to a bad team because they couldn't do that. They couldn't punt. It's just, yeah, like that's a sequential art, Jordan. It's a beautiful mosaic of everything wrong with this team. It's just, like they're not playing well, and they're not communicating even. Which again, at least if they all, like I've said this before, like at a certain point, like even if like the direction that they decide to go in is mid, it's just better if they're just all pulling in one direction than like fighting each other, because that's not gonna get you anywhere. And like now it's probably gloves are off with it now, Jordan. Like if they had won this game, at least they were like firmly like in like the playoff hunt, and maybe they can all like to some extent like keep it in their pants. Think that's happening now? My God, let alone if they lose another game, like Mac's probably gonna swing on the freaking guys. Well, yeah, like to a certain extent.
Very, very likely they lose another game.
Oh, exactly. Like obviously, like to a certain point, right? Like we've talked about it. Like I sympathize with Mac Jones, and I haven't just let Mac Jones off entirely, right? I haven't just let him off entirely. I refuse to do that. Because it's like you can't miss a guy wide open 2 yards away from you, then the next play be complaining about the play calling. Like, is that fair?
It seems fair.
Like, you can't be like audibly, like noticeably bitching about the play calling the play after you couldn't hit a guy who was wide open. It's just like, it's like, what are we doing? Like, it's not a good sign. Like, again, like I'm getting to a point where I'm like, whatever, like if you get like a better offensive coaching staff, I guess like roll with Mac at least another year just to see what happens. But again, it's like, and for the people who like really feel strongly about that, like to a certain extent, it's like, yes, like I understand. Like they have put Mac Jones in a horrific situation, like on every end.
His career might just be ruined.
No, if you just want to be like, well, listen, like I want to give him another chance, like with like a better situation, like fine, but for me at least, I'd like to at least see him like rise above it to some level. Like again, we said this before. Like to me, any case you make for Mac Jones right now is only based on his circumstances. That's the only thing you're listing. You're like, well, his receivers aren't very good. His O-line's not good. The play calling's a mess. But nowhere in that are you like, also, like he's made a couple plays here and there that look pretty good. Like, here, there's nothing to look at. It's like, oh, he's really been a leader. Like, no. He just gets mad and yells and then doesn't notice that his tight end isn't set when he snaps the ball. It's just like, it's a mess. And that, I guess that concludes Sequential Art. It's sponsored by maybe you. I see like a sequence like that, and that's everything. That's every sign that your offense is non-functional. All in a handy 4 or 5 play sequence. No communication, no execution, and like your quarterback hates the sound of your your play caller's voice. Just don't even want to hear it. It doesn't want anything to do with it. So my God, like it's like, yeah, it's gonna get bad. This could get bad in the next week. Like, dudes are a little, dudes might be a little bit on edge. I don't know. Might be zappy time soon. Honestly,
you want to know my favorite statistic of this season?
Oh, sure.
Did you know that Baker Mayfield has more touchdown passes than Mac Jones?
Oh, I was gonna say this, Jordan. They don't have a single fourth quarter touchdown pass this season. Yeah, which by the way, to summarize, Jordan, all of these factors that we're talking about get you the 32nd ranked red zone offense, the 29th ranked third down offense, and the 28th team in first downs per game. So, top 50 in all those categories, which to me is pretty good. Top half of a 50 team league. But it's there was a point there where it looked like maybe as much of a disaster as this was, that other teams were a little bit more of a disaster. But my God, they can't. It's like, and beyond that, just situationally, they've just fallen apart. Again, this game wasn't lost solely off it. They get a punt blocked because the punt unit can't get its act together because Cam McCord is still here. Because he's friends with, I don't know, he's nice to Bill Belichick, I guess. And then again, it sucks because the team actually did something in this game I did not think they were capable of doing, which is coming back from a 2-score deficit. Collectively, they rattled off 24 straight points in the second half. It was like, wow, look at that. Maybe they're going to do this. Then the Raiders get the ball, and you get him in a fourth down, and nope, can't cover back Hollins, and then, you get robbed, Jordan. They got robbed. And then, the refs absolutely screwed them. Screwed them, Jordan, on Keenan Cole maybe being in bounds or maybe being not in bounds, but really, really hard to tell because the NFL doesn't put, cameras on the sideline, which I'm fine with. By the way, fine with less replay instead of more replay, but...
And you call yourself a soccer fan after
I know, really. I'm a fan of less technology making the... Even though that replay took 15 minutes for them to be like, you can't tell. And you're like, you kind of can't tell. The sidelines, the field's black, the sidelines whitish, shoes are white and black. Kind of hard to tell. Whatever. It'd be nice if you could. It was also first down, so it's not like they didn't have another couple of tries. And, it's going to be a second down. And, again, you couldn't stop them on a 4th and 10 because Jonathan Jones did not have a good game today. Marcus Jones had a very good game, by the way. He was on Devontae Adams quite a bit. They did a great job on Devontae Adams. I'll give him that. They really kept him quiet. But, yeah. No, so, you couldn't punt. You couldn't cover at the end of the game. And, on a go-ahead drive. And again, you, lateral Jacoby Myers for some reason chose to just lateral the ball backwards 40 yards to Mac Jones, who had Chandler Jones standing right in front of him. I don't know what Jacoby Myers thought he was going to do if he had even gotten it to him.
Yeah, he couldn't throw the ball forward anymore.
Well, no, but he could have juked out future Hall of Fame pass rusher Chandler Jones, maybe could have put the moves on him. Put those patented Mac jogs moves on him. Could have really stunned him. Could have been like, hey, you might have 120 something sacks. But I got a little bit of this going on. I got these steps going. You've never seen nothing like these, Chandler. But yeah, no, he did. So, which again, I believe that it's Jacoby Myers. I believe in what he said. However, it's all a sign of the fact that this team is inherently extreme. Because I'll bring it back to the coaches, don't you worry. It's all a sign this team is just inherently extremely dysfunctional, and the fact he'd even think to do that tells me that, I don't know, they haven't taught him something. They haven't drilled that enough, I guess. All right, if it's a tie game, don't lateral the ball all over. It's just, again, when dudes do something stupid, it goes back to coaching dudes. Again, we're a player who's not stupid. Jacoby Myers isn't a dumbass. He generally seems like a smart football player. And he's a good player and all that. It just again, that just points to me as a sign of a larger dysfunction organizationally, which they, if you haven't been paying attention, they're a little bit dysfunctional. And it finally caught up to them. Really, really, really caught up to them here when they were playing the Raiders, who are very bad. Derek Carr, very bad in this game. They handed it to you. They really did, and you just could quite literally not get out of your own way. The Patriots literally threw this game away. Quite literally threw this game away for themselves. It's unbelievable. Like, they threw it away. They threw away their season. And now they need to rattle off 3 straight against the Bengals, Dolphins, and Bills, which, 60-40 chance they do it. And yeah, no, it's great. I gotta tell you, it's fantastic. It really, it's really great. At least the Jets lost this week. At least the Jets lost yesterday. That was good. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, what, again, Jordan, and this is another one of those games that I used to, push back on the idea that, it was all Brady, and push back on, the revisionists that you and the other haters like to do.
And I told you it was a trap.
Again, and I still don't believe you that it was a trap. I still don't buy it, because to be a trap, they'd have to be a good cruising team to fall into a trap.
I told you it was
it's still not a trap, Jordan. I still don't.
I told you the Raiders are exactly the team.
I still refute that this team is good enough. I feel like you have to be of a certain level of quality to have a trap game. You got to be good. Again, if this was like a Tom Brady Patriots team and they had just rattled off 5 straight, and you're all right, they're gonna overlook this Raiders game because next week they got the Bengals. Fine, definite trap game. I'm like, this team, they're not good. They're not good. They can't have a trap game because a trap game implies some level of believing that you're better than somebody else, and everybody on this team currently hates each other and thinks that everybody's trash around them, so they can't possibly be confident. But so this is another game where you're like, wow, these are things that wouldn't happen to this team 8, 9, 10, 4 years ago, really. And now, I don't know, you have a head coach who just kind of counting down the days, I guess. Just mailing it in. And now you can't play situational football, and your offense is a mess. And my lord, I've come all the way around. I still, in an ideal world, I'd still like them to keep Bill Belichick, I guess. However, that's with a caveat of and also I hate the idea of needing an owner to be involved in things ever. I hate that, but they don't have a GM to do it. That's with the caveat of Robert Kraft or Jonathan Kraft or any Kraft needs at the very bare minimum be hey, you gotta completely redo this offensive staff dealio. You can keep your kids. You can even keep his kids, Jordan. I'm fine. The defense, whatever. All his kids coach the defense. They're doing fine, I guess. And I suppose in the aggregate, whatever, they're doing fine. But you got
in the aggregate, yes. I think yesterday, not particularly.
No, I mean, even that, the defense was fine until it wasn't. But they were fine. It was genuinely and truly whatever. But they let up 24 points, but one of those touchdowns came on the Raiders got the ball at their own 15 because you couldn't punt. But whatever. Keep your kids. Kids can stay. But if he's not willing to do that, I'm done. I'm at this point where if he doesn't want to budge on the offensive staff thing, then blow him out or trade him to the Panthers or something. I don't know. Send him and the boys packing down to Carolina. Find one owner who's real desperate to do something flashy. Be like, hey, you want Bill Belichick? You want him? Come on, you'll sell some season tickets probably. You want to have him when he gets the all-time win record? Come on.
I mean, it's doubtful he'll make it to there.
He's so close.
It's doubtful.
Come on, Commanders, you want him?
Pace.
Commanders, you just got a new owner probably. You probably want to bring in an old vet to be your coach.
I mean, they already have an old vet at their coach.
Yeah, they'll be bored with him by then. I mean, they're also currently in the playoffs, aren't they? They're currently
yes.
doing exactly a little bit better than you are. Actually, they have the exact same record that you do.
The Commanders are actually kind of a good team.
Actually, they have half a game more than the no, again, the Patriots and the Commanders extremely comparable. That's like I've had brewing for extremely comparable teams. Unbelievably comparable.
I don't know. I watched a few Commander games, and I gotta tell you, they've been a lot better than the Patriots.
Well, the difference is their mid quarterback just doesn't hate everything that they're doing. No,
they have like some players. They have like Terry McLaurin, who's like better than literally everybody.
Would love
in the
Terry
Patriots
McLaurin.
Offense.
Would love Terry McLaurin. Let me tell you, could have had him, but they drafted him a couple rounds after N'Keal Harry. Would have been nice. It was a good double dip there at receiver, but yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, they got to do that. At a bare minimum, Bill Belichick needs to be given a mandate this offseason to just get rid of the whole offensive coaching staff and get a new one. Again, Jordan, you know what I want to do. We talked about it last week. They got to settle for Bill O'Brien. It's whatever, but go get some.
Can we get Cliff Kingsbury when he's inevitably fired?
Fine. God bless. Get him. You can make Brian Hoyer the QB coach. You want to do that? That'd be fun.
Get Nathaniel Hackett when he's ultimately fired.
Oh yeah, why not, baby? Get him in to be like the play call, the game clock specialist. Like, hey, they'll be cheap. They'll be getting paid by their old teams. Cliff Kingsbury's got 5 years left on that contract. It's just, oh my Lord. But yeah, if you just want to do that, I'm done. And I wasn't there at the beginning of this. Now I'm there. I'm there. That's the movement for me. If Bill's no, let's give Matt and them another year. I'm done. I'm out. If I blow him out and don't ask me who I want. I don't know. Figure it out then. Do what every other team does and hire a guy who's kind of good at something and hope that it works out. Because you get to be all the other teams now. You're there. If you have lost your status of above all the other teams' nonsense, you are bogged right down in it. Or if not, or tell Belichick he has to get a new guy, hope he feels some kind of heat and goes out and spends a bunch of money in the offseason to manufacture a couple more wins.
I mean, if he's not feeling the heat, then he just needs to go. I mean, if he can't feel the sense of urgency,
man's flame retarded.
It's it for him.
Well, it's even what do you even do now? At this point in the season, it's there's nothing you do now. It's not you don't have anybody else forward. Well, yeah, it's nobody else raw on the coaching staff. We can be a play caller at this point.
Anybody? Brian Hoyer? Is he done from his concussion? Has he healed from that?
I wouldn't mind a concussed Brian Hoyer calling plays. It's at this point, it's whatever. Good, go in, have fun playing the Bengals.
This is such a bad team, and the worst part about the Patriots, there's so little upside.
Again,
any other bad team has so much upside.
I still disagree with you because all the bad things are so self-inflicted, so unbelievably self-inflicted.
And that's the number one side of a bad team.
They are so obviously fixable.
It's number one sign of a bad team.
Yes and no.
If you get blown out 50 points a game, that's one thing. When you make the dumbest thing I've ever seen in professional sports,
it's Jordan. They have not shot themselves in the foot. They have unloaded a clip right into their feet.
What happened on Sunday? Some shit I expect from the Texans. The Texans haven't been anywhere near that disgraceful.
Just 122 in each toe. Just one into. Lord, it's so. See, I almost disagree because if they were just bad and I knew they were bad and they didn't have the ability to do anything, I'd be oh yeah, they're just bad. It wouldn't be frustrating. This is frustrating because again, they could have won this game very easily. They had it. They're capable of it, and they have just insisted. They have just insisted and doubled down on all these paths that lead them directly to ruin. And and they're not even entertaining. They're not even bad in an entertaining way. They're not even like
that's the worst part.
they're just even when they win, it's so unappealing.
Every other team in the NFL is literally more entertaining.
They are
except the Buccaneers.
They're pretty close to it. I'd have to watch. Oh damn, Cardinals got eliminated. That's crazy. 5 teams are eliminated now. But it's on. And again, it's all very fixable.
But they won't fix it.
I hope they do.
Fix it.
I hope they do.
Fix it.
I don't know. Like I don't know how like at a minimum like Robert Kraft could let them go into the next season with the same exact like alignment. Like I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that being possible. And if it does happen, I will lose my mind. Like if we're like rolling up in the next season, Belichick's like, well, Matt has a lot of experience now as a play caller, so we're ready to kind of get a start on next season. And like Mac, and then they cut to like the Mac Jones press conference, and it's just his feet like hanging and swinging above the podium because he's hung himself. That's the implication. He's killed himself.
Yeah. If Matt Patricia and Joe Judge are calling plays,
it just can't happen, right? Like there's
I think I will have an aneurysm.
Like there's no world where it happens, right? Like there's no chance. There's no chance it happens. What?
I said that'd be a little bit too much.
There's no chance, right? It can't happen. So if it's not happening, like there's like half your problem right there.
That's intolerable.
Exactly, which is why I feel optimistic to a certain level. Because you get rid of that, and it's like your offense has to be like 5 times more competent. Like talent not changed, notwithstanding. Like add no additional talent. Like you're like at the very least, like your quarterback might not like hate everything you're doing. Like they'll be like, when you do like a Madden franchise, and you have like a bad year, and like all the players they lose like overall due to morale. Mac must be like -9 right now. It's like, and again, I'm not sold on Mac Jones at all, but it's like
it's hard to say whether this was just pure sabotage or genuine regression.
That's the thing. Like it's every single thing they do wrong. It's trying to parse out like the blame pie. It's like, again, it's like going back to the sequential art. It's like, well, this play was just Mac not hitting the guy, but then this play was they didn't need to call a timeout, but they did, and it's like, what?
But last year he would have made that throw.
Probably.
Daniel calling the play.
Yeah, probably he would have.
That's like the issue.
He would have. And it's like, okay, like a part of it, I guess I blame it. Like if he's just letting it get to him that much, that is like impacting him this, but like that's a problem with Mac to a certain. Like, yeah, that's why I don't just let Mac off entirely. I'm not like, oh, poor Mac. Oh, poor guy. Like, no, if he can't handle this adversity, I don't think he's gonna win like a Super Bowl. Like at a certain point.
Did you call him soft? Like all kids these days.
Maybe a little bit. Like I hate that. Like it's a little. Like it's a little.
Would have never made it against the Bad Boys Pistons.
Exactly, never would have made it against the Bad Boy Pistons. You got it.
Yeah, they took hand checking out, and now
now Mac Jones can't hit anybody in the hands. Exactly. That's what hand checking was. Checking that the ball's going to your open tight end's hands. Exactly. Like 2 yards down the field from you. Exactly. Jacoby Myers checking that the ball is in his hands and chucking it away from his hands. Exactly. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's almost, it's like, like it's just, it's like, my God, is Mac Jones just intentionally sabotaging them at this point?
Oh, the reverse sabotage?
If he's not, is he going to start? Like, is he going to start? And it's like, well, we're probably out of the playoffs, so now it's time to really show him. Like, it's just all around not good, right? The whole thing is just a disaster. Just a disaster, and even then they could have made the playoffs. They've just like put it together for like 2 weeks. They just
there is a silver lining to this.
They might get like the 14th overall pick.
They're not the Broncos.
They're not the Broncos again. They're not the That's true.
So rest assured.
That's true.
That.
And again,
if I was a Broncos fan, I'd be in very dire straits right now.
Again, it's like they just, again, like I keep pushing back that they don't have upside. Like they're in a fine position. Financially, they have a bunch of space this year. They have all their draft picks. Like the defense is good. It's like if they just wouldn't do the dumbest possible thing when picking their offensive staff, they probably be like, they probably have 2 more wins right now. I don't even know what games they would have won. They probably would have won this game. And I don't know. Maybe they probably would have won that stupid Packers game where they just couldn't score in the 4th quarter. They probably have a 4th quarter passing touchdown this year. Again, Jordan, they have none. That doesn't feel possible. How do you not have one? And that's not Mac Jones doesn't have one. That's the team. That's unreal. It's unreal.
Well, you never heard of a team having 0 4th quarter passing touchdowns? Oh, no, my mistake. 0 4th quarter touchdowns through week 16.
No. Only passing touchdowns. They do have touchdowns in the 4th quarter.
Oh.
I said passing.
Passing touchdowns in the 4th quarter?
Yep.
You never heard of that?
Nope.
Going into the second to last week of the... Oh, no.
Yep.
How many weeks are there? 19?
3 weeks. 3 weeks left.
All right.
Yeah, just solid, and almost more than midway through December, we're like, all right, baby steps on offense. They finally, again, I'm like, well, they tried to throw the ball a little bit downfield in this game. Baby steps. 3 weeks to go, a lot of time to build on that. Yeah, no, it is. I think my dream of seeing them force a punt in a playoff game might be becoming kind of out of reach.
I just don't see the upside, Jake.
Again, I do.
There's a whole bunch of potential that will never materialize under this current regime or the current structure of it.
No, you got to restructure the whole thing, but again, it's so obvious. It's literally get anybody who's an offensive coordinator. Quite. Again, I have my choice. They did go right to Camino, pick up one of the Sean McVay clones, and just ride that up.
Same reason why the Red Sox just could have re-signed Xander Bogaerts.
Could have.
Very simple, very straightforward, very logical, easy thing, no-brainer thing to do. But they didn't do it.
I hope that somebody forces Bill Belichick to do it.
They're just fucking stupid.
I hope somebody forces him to do it. If not, they get rid of him. That blow up. Be like, okay, bye, Bill. We'll do something else then. We're not doing this again. This is ridiculous. No. Again, you can keep your kids, Bill. They can stay. Have them and Gerard Mayo all collectively be defensive coordinator, and yet nobody's defensive coordinator. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. You're fine on defense. Don't care. My lord. Here's Tom. He's an accountant for the Rams. He's the OC. He's the play caller now. Tom Lindell.
The Patriots are so bad that they can genuinely have the defensive player of the year, and
yep.
No one cares.
Yeah, the defense is good. I care a little bit.
No one cares.
Yeah, the defense has been good.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. You're right. It doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter now.
It doesn't matter.
It mattered coming into this game when you're like, oh, they can make the playoffs. Oh, nope. Oh, the safety's not on the gun. Oh, God. Oh, they pulled the trigger. Oh, there goes the pinky. Oh, there goes the plantar fasciitis thing that gets plantar fasciitis. Oh, there goes the middle toe. Oh, boy. Maybe they're going to drop it now. Oh, God. There goes the big toe. Terrible. I hate it. I hate that. It's so annoying.
Matt Judon, I'm saying, you had 18 sacks. Well, congrats. Your team
good for you, man.
10. Try again next year, kid.
I hope they do.
Should have given it to Micah. That's what it was.
You're right. You're right now. It's just... Yeah, I don't know. They lost it.
If Matt Judon wins Defensive Player of the Year, no one will care.
God bless him. I'll care a little bit. I'll be like, he's good.
He's good. So what? If he's
keep
good?
Him. I don't know. They got that signing right. Get another one right this offseason.
So those 20 sacks most certainly didn't help this year.
All
those pressures didn't add up to anything.
Good work. Now, go sign somebody else and get it right again.
It's the ultimate empty calories.
Go spend some money. Go spend some money again. Get it right. Go do what you did this past off season and spend a bunch of money to buy yourself a couple more wins so you can sneak into the playoffs. Do it again. Is it going to build anything sustainable? Probably not, but do it again, please. Go spend a bunch of money and get some guys who help you for a year. It's what you do, baby. The teams that do that always works out for them in the long haul. Spend it, go spend star money on a bunch of second tier players and hope that maybe one of them breaks out for you. It's go buy two more
the Bengals.
Yeah, exactly. Go buy
card game.
Go spend like $30 million on like 2 more tight ends. I don't know. Go do something. My Lord. Go do just get a play caller. My God. So yeah, I don't know.
Absolutely crushed by like Deshaun Watson when he remembers how to play football.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Probably.
Which, by the way, he started playing again.
He did. He wasn't that. He hasn't been that good yet. But excuse me. He wasn't that good.
He looked better than Mac Jones for a guy who hasn't played a football game in like 800 days.
Yup.
A guy who hasn't played the entirety of Mac Jones' career. He looks pretty good.
It's true. They kind of were 2 ships in the night, huh?
Yeah.
It's all so bad, yet all so fixable, and it's going to be like pulling teeth to get anybody to even try and fix it. It's the most obvious thing in the world, and they will maybe have to uproot Bill Belichick's entire legacy to get it to happen, which is quite disappointing. But these things rarely end well. It's what I've said for years. These types of historic, great all-time runs rarely end well. Not for Messi. For Messi, it ended pretty well, but that's contrary to the norm.
Messi still has some years to go. His story isn't over.
Exactly. Most dudes.
Messi's in the post game now.
Most dudes hit their peak and then keep going for a little bit longer and slog it out at the end. There. That's how it goes for most people. Yeah, that's what's happening to Bill Belichick right now. Very rarely do dudes go out on top. Very hard to walk away.
Messi unlocked the ability to import his Pokemon from the Game Boy Advance.
Exactly.
Games.
But yeah, no. So I don't know. What's your score for Cincinnati, Jordan? In New England, don't you forget.
Bengals 35, Patriots. I'll give them 17. I'll be generous.
I almost want to say they're going to win this game for no good reason.
No, there's no way. There's no fucking way.
Because that would be the only logical thing that could happen. In fact, I campaign for the dumbest. I bet they'll win this game, and I'll be even angrier if they win this game, honestly.
It'd be
going to 17-13 Patriots.
It'd be insane.
It would be, and that's why it'll happen.
Against this Bengals team, which is like the hottest team in the NFL right now.
Again, second year in a row where they've just heated up right at the end, right? Where they've just gotten like halfway through the season, you're like, they're kind of mid, and then they've just heated right up. And like November, December, they do that.
Joe Burrow, a very sneaky MVP candidate.
Oh, not even sneaky. Yeah, they
just has like a better year of Jalen Hurts all of a sudden.
Oh, he's been playing great. No, I mean, like I said, they do that. This is who they are.
I'm telling you, Bengals, they dropped those first 4 games, but they've been.
Oh yeah, that's the same as they were last year, if I remember. They weren't all that great to start.
Gangbuster since.
Yeah, God, they went 2-2 to start the season. They went 2-3 to start the season, and they've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've won like 8 of 9. And like they beat the Chiefs, and they came back against the Bucs again. Bizarre week, by the way, crazy week. A lot of other fun things happened in other games that weren't this atrocious Patriots game. The Vikings, the Bills-Dolphins game was something. The Lions-Jets game was a fun one. Panthers are back to the scrap heap. I was giving the Panthers some credit for like a week there. Somehow
it's not over till it's over in the NFC South.
Somehow the Steelers have 6 wins. Don't know how that happened. So don't know how the Steelers somehow have 6 wins, but God bless them, I guess. A lot of good stuff going on, and the Patriots are just.
Did you know the Patriots only have 1 more win than the Steelers?
I do. That's unbelievable. I don't know who the Steelers have been beaten, but.
And everybody considers the Steelers are just left for dead.
Oh, they're so bad. Not good. They beat the Falcons, they beat the Colts, they beat the Saints. They beat the Buccaneers. They have a very, very slightly lower quality of. They did beat the Bengals week 1, didn't they? They have a slightly higher yet lower quality of win than you. But oh my Lord, yeah, no. So I don't know. I don't know. It's like I do know. It's not I don't know. I know exactly what the fix is. The fix is literally do anything else, an offensive coordinator. Literally anything else. Or fire the coach and get somebody who will. Or get a coach who will hire anybody to be the offensive coordinator. So, that's fun. And they'll probably win this week because it makes no sense. Or if they don't win, Next 2 weeks, they'll just be fighting each other on the field, probably.
I think best case scenario, they go 1-2 and they manage to like beat the Dolphins because the Dolphins are kind of in free fall.
Hey, baby, that might get them. That might help them sneak in.
It might.
Dolphins are only a game ahead of them. Might help them eke in, baby.
I don't know what the Dolphins' schedule is like for the rest of the year.
Oh, baby, they might be able to eke in. Never mind.
Who are they playing?
You know, they just have to run the table, and they can go. They can be above 500 or be 500 playing the Packers this week. Pretty soft landing on Christmas Day.
Packers, Patriots, Jets.
Damn, can Aaron Rodgers pull off a Christmas miracle?
No. Aaron Rodgers, he's also cooked, but we don't have to talk.
Can Aaron Rodgers? Yeah. So, speaking of quarterbacks, you know what happened on Instagram?
What happened on Instagram?
Yesterday? So this gentleman from ESPN, Bill Barnwell, just posted on his Instagram, or actually the NFL posted on Instagram. ESPN just posted on Instagram, just like a quote from his article about how like the Patriots will at least have to call Brady's people to inquire whether or not he wants to come to New England. Or they could also pursue Garoppolo, and Trent Brown liked the post.
Oh, baby.
And then he unliked it promptly after people noticed, which in all fair, I don't know why Trent Brown's that worried about who's going to be playing quarterback next year, because hopefully he won't be here, but which also, he apparently lost 14 pounds due to the flu.
Flu can do that to you.
So yep. So that, they're doing great in that locker room, baby. They are a united front right there. They are one unit that moves together, Jordan. They are a true definition of a team.
At least they're not the Broncos.
It'd be pretty cool if Brady came back. I'm into it. Then he can pick.
Yes, they should inquire at the very
then he can pick the offensive coordinator. Anybody he wants, literally anybody he wants. Quite literally anybody he wants. Is Byron Leftwich want to be the coach? That'd be fun. Oh, you want Brady to bring Leftwich with him back here? Belichick doesn't want to budge on anything. Bring the whole Buccaneers outfit here. Could be fun. Yeah. So, Edelman will keep tweeting about maybe wanting to come out of retirement for 4 months and it'll get exhausting.
I don't think he should do that.
No, he probably shouldn't, but he'll tweet about it.
Wasn't he just complaining about like the insurance through like the players union?
I don't know. Was
Players Association not covering his injuries or something?
No, was he? I didn't see that at all.
It was like a tweet at like the way beginning of the year. He was like yelling at like the NFL and something about like they're like in like the claims not being, I don't know, some shit like that about like a back surgery he was having.
That's tough, but yeah. So that's it. That's all the Patriots' thoughts. At least they lost, so they got to get mixed up a little bit. So that's fun. The Red Sox are doing.
Luckily for them, both the Dolphins and the Jets lost. So
yeah, they're still a little bit alive. They just have to win 3 games. That all would be their best win in the post-Brady era. Yeah. Which is fine. Just gotta get 500 is not a bad spot to be. You're 500. Head above water. Chance to just gotta run the table, baby. Gotta beat some AFC fodder in the Bengals, Dolphins, and Bills. Hey, 4 years ago, that wouldn't seem like that daunting of a task. Like 2017, you'd be like, oh, that's nothing. That's got to count for something, right?
I think so.
So, yeah, so that's happening. Yeah, at least the Red Sox are doing great, though. The Red Sox did stuff, Jordan. Are you ready, baby? Red Sox fans. The Red Sox, first off, DFA'd their first baseman. So that's good. This
is my sad face.
Yeah, no, they DFA'd Eric Hosmer, which is great. Because we talked last week about how they're not interested in spending money, how they just want like cheap players and prospects. They don't want the cheap players either, apparently. They don't want Eric Hosmer, who they were paying less than $1 million for the next 3 years, because they wanted to clear a runway for Tristan Casas. So he's out. So blew that old timer right out, because why have good MLB players on your roster? You know, we all watched them the last the last 2 years. You know, it's been really fun, really watching the development of the Red Sox at first base the last 2 years. Didn't you enjoy it? Last couple of years of Bobby Dahl back. What was his name? I forgot his name. Oh, God. I literally read his name the other day, and
it's fine. Even if you remembered his name, you're still proving the point.
Michael Chavis.
The bit's still working.
Remember Michael Chavis? You know. What?
I said slightly.
Just a lot of fun stuff they've been doing there at the first base. And then they bring in this Eric Hosmer guy. And he just kind of plays competent defense at first base for the first time in like 3 years. Awful. Hated it. Hated every second of it. And now they're blowing that loser out. So they can just open the lane for Tristan Casas and have no insurance. Because again, why have good players on your roster? Why? Why bother? Why bother? Honestly, they're a tanking team, I assume. It's just either they're tanking or they think that we're stupid. We're probably stupid. We're idiot. We're not sharp guys. But so they So they got rid of their first baseman, which is great, which I'm so happy to see. And then they turned around and JD Martinez signed with the Dodgers, which is genuinely, I want to get mad about it, but truly and genuinely I don't care. But then so he went there for $10 million, and then they signed Justin Turner, baby. So they didn't want old Eric Hosmer, but they want old Justin Turner, who they're paying $11 million to maybe DH, maybe play third sometimes, maybe play first sometimes. And he's kind of good, I guess. I don't know why he wouldn't have just kept Eric Hosmer at that point instead of paying another guy more than 10 times as much to play the same role. But I'm just a stupid idiot, I guess, who can't see the genius of the plan in front of me, Jordan, that the Red Sox are doing. Also, their entire starting rotation is still a free agent, which is good. Mm-hmm. Which is quite positive, but it's okay. Also, though, Jordan, there is some movement on the Rafael Devers front. You know, speaking of us being smart, Chaim Bloom has another genius blast for us to hear. You want to hear what they're saying about Rafael Devers, Jordan?
What's the 411?
Well, this is what he said about it. We will probably, I think, go beyond reason to try to get this done. Hopefully, we can get this done. There are always going to be limitations, like people can just put something plain out of reach. Some people love to bet on themselves, and I hope he hits 63 homers if he does that. Which Jordan, you want me to translate that to caveman for you?
Yeah, Unga Bunga it for me.
We're gonna try really, really hard to re-sign him, but he might be really mean and ask for too much money. And if he asks for too much money, we don't have any money. But we hope he still has a good year and has fun. He might make it too hard, though. He might make it very hard. Very hard for us. Because we are broke. We don't have the money to pay him, probably. Also, they're according to some reports, they are quote Jordan galaxies apart.
Yeah, no shit. I would imagine that
in negotiations. Also, Jordan, according to other reports, let me check your baseball cred. I don't know if you ever heard this one before. But the Red Sox homegrown star is saying that he's not going to negotiate with the team after spring training on the final year of his contract.
Oh boy.
Already saying it, baby. So yeah, don't know if you've heard that one before. I can't wait for him to offer him like 5 years, $110 million. Be like, well, we tried. I took these really sad photos of me staring out the window at some rain. Does this make it any better, everybody? We really...
They gave it a college try.
We really, really want to get it done. But, Joe, if you had to put a number to your confidence level that the Red Sox lock up Rafael Devers, you could put a percentage to it, out of 100, of course. What would you put it at?
4.
4%? Damn, you are a sucker. You are drinking the Kool-Aid right there, Jordan. I have it at a firm 0. Prove me wrong, Red Sox. Unless he gets hurt during the year and then is willing to take a cheap deal, then maybe they'll get in on that. Yeah, 0%. He's already saying, like, don't even talk to me after spring training. I've seen how you fellas like to do things. Don't even talk to me. Again, it's hard. Like, you want it, but I already forget what the quote was. They're galaxies apart, Jordan. I hope he has a great year if he bets on himself. Won't that be cool when he hits 65 home runs and then goes and signs with, like, the Twins? Won't that be cool?
True suffering.
Oh,
man.
baby. Let me
True
tell you,
suffering.
Justin Turner's going to get it all together, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, to touch on the shortstop market, my Dansby Swanson dreams have been dashed.
Damn.
So,
Who picked up Dansby?
Oh, baby, the Cubs.
Oh, the Cubs. All right, they're loading up.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's okay, Jordan. The Red Sox are reportedly sniffing around Jose Iglesias. Remember him?
No. No, man, no.
He was here in 2021. You don't remember when he was here for like 20 games 2 years ago?
No.
Played on the Rockies last year.
You think I watched a Rockies game last year?
Maybe.
Why would I watch a Rocky game?
He hit 292. Hit a couple dingers. And by a couple, I mean literally 3. Just 3 more than me and you hit last year.
Watch the Rockies?
Just 3 more than me and you hit last year, Jordan.
This is true.
Yeah, no, so that is them trying to bridge it to Marcelo Mayer. Because again, Jordan, it would be stupid to have an MLB shortstop for a year when you have a prospect that might come up eventually. Like, again, you don't want to have Eric Hosmer. You want to have a clear runway for Tristan Casas, who might be terrible, who might be awful, who might not be able to play because we're dumb and don't understand the value of prospects, Jordan.
Jake, let me break to you this way.
Okay,
maybe you just can't do the math.
Yeah, I can't. I'm just sitting here. I put both my rocks, and it's not enough rocks. I don't know what's happening.
So there's this weird quirk about the game of baseball, where, sort of like how all the other teams, they have, what we call in the sports world a active roster.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then in baseball, you can only have 40 guys on that roster. But the real interesting thing is that those 40 guys are throughout your entire organization.
Okay.
So if you give, Eric Hosmer,
like I bring 40 guys on my mammoth hunt, exactly.
Exactly. That's how much you need to take down a mammoth.
Yeah.
So if you give Eric Hosmer one of the 40-man spots, that means that's one less spot for some random prospect.
Oh, that makes sense.
Dogs that you never heard of.
Yeah, absolutely. Some guy that was gotten in like some like Rule 5 draft guy. Absolutely.
Yeah, or who will get drafted in like the 6th round from like Northwestern
Yeah,
Central
yeah.
Arkansas State.
Yeah, like some
University.
former Gulls guy. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. It's true. Why would you want a guy like Eric Hosmer who
No, he's just taking up space.
taking up space? Yeah, now they can have Bobby Dahlback be the backup first baseman again. He can get some starts at first base. It's great. It's great, Jordan. It's very smart. It's a great strategy.
Why if you only have 40 guys, why waste it on competent
Exactly.
players?
Or why even bring in Jose Iglesias? Again, just play Kiki Hernandez at shortstop, and then you can just have Jarren Duran or somebody in the center field.
Exactly. And nothing's ever gone wrong.
No, nothing's ever gone wrong. It'll be great.
You're gonna
have Bobby Dahlback at first and Jarren Duran. It's great. They had this whole great offseason, Jordan. They made all these changes, like Jarren Duran's their everyday center fielder, and Bobby Dahlback will play first base. So much has changed, Jordan. They've become so much better. And their galaxy is apart with Rafael Devers, but they're trying. Let me tell you, Jordan, Chaim wants to see it happen. Yeah,
I bet you Devers asking for the most reasonable contract. Like 6 years, like 12 mil a year or something like that.
Oh, no, I'm sure he's asking for like 12 years, 400-something million. But they should give it to him. Yes. They probably, I think, will go beyond reason, Jordan. They'll probably, I think, go beyond reason. Hopefully they can get this done, but there are always limitations. Like, people can just put something plain out of reach.
Some guys like to bet on themselves.
Oh, yeah, no, Rafa, he's putting it out of reach. He's like, I want market value, Chaim. Ooh, you can't reach it up here. Here on the top shelf, my market value. Too much for you, kid. Have fun with Jose Iglesias here on the bargain bin. Oh, Justin Turner. Come on, you can get 4 Justin Turners for what they're going to be paying Rafael Devers.
Exactly.
Imagine that, Jordan. 4 Justin Turners.
I'm very excited.
Imagine how many. You know how much $40 million is. You know how many Jarren Durans that is.
At least 5.
So many. Way more than 5. It's like 30 Jarren Durans right there. You want 30 Jarren Durans, Jordan?
You know, put one in every outfield and every level of the Red Sox organization.
Oh my God! Just Jarren Durananza, Duranza, a Jarren Duranza.
Think about some random guy in the Woo Sox you never heard before.
Cannot wait. Oh God! Oh Lord! It just gets worse every day. When is it? I wish they just wouldn't give updates on the Devers thing. But they're galaxies apart, Jordan. Galaxies. I don't think they're gonna get any closer. They gotta buy the Commanders, Jordan. They can't shell it out.
Jesus Christ.
Oh God, they're cash poor, Jordan.
Next year.
What?
So they're going to be the worst fucking team in baseball next year.
No, it's okay. Devers will
half their pitchers aren't under contract.
It's fine. Evaldi or Walker.
They have no hitting anymore. Their fielding's still a mess.
They got another year. They got Devers. No, see, they're trying to motivate Devers. They just want him to be motivated this year. They saw what happened with Judge.
He hit he bat like 305 last year?
Yeah,
now
they're like, we got to get him even more motivated. We got to get him feeling slighted, or else he might start coasting. No,
he was like a top 10 hitter last year.
They're just next leveling him. That's not number one. They're like 27 home runs wasn't enough. We got to get those numbers up, buddy.
Fuck.
They're like, we're galaxies apart. Don't you understand how many Justin Turners we can sign? Come on, why have Rafael Devers for $40 million when you can have Eric Hosmer for $780,000? But then also, why have Eric Hosmer for $780,000 when you could just have Tristan Casas start every day and not, why have anybody compete for anything? Oh my God. Oh, I'm exhausted. And Bobby Dahlback. Don't want to take away at bats from Bobby Dahlback. Oh, Jordan. Oh, he's going to play so much this year. Oh, he might be their everyday shortstop when all's said and done. Okay. Here's a would you rather. Would you rather have Bobby Dahlback be their everyday shortstop, or have Kiki Hernandez play shortstop and then Jarren Duran's their everyday center fielder?
I'll take option 1.
Okay.
I'll take option 1. I can't.
Okay.
God help me, I have to see Duran in the fucking outfield ever again.
Okay. All right.
God help me. He shouldn't even be playing right now.
Oh well, Jordan's getting more and more likely he's gonna be playing every day. I hate to tell you.
After the atrocities I
they are
witnessed by my own eyes.
They are certainly not trending towards Jarren Duran not playing. They are certainly not trending towards getting him off the field. Oh Lord. Okay, well that's fun. Hope you're having a good time.
Actively moving backwards. It's incredible.
I'm surprised the Fenway Sports Group didn't buy the Suns. Honestly, I'm sure they made a bid.
I mean,
they're like, well, we need to save this $4 billion, not for Rafael Devers' contract.
Because that's how much Rafael Devers is asking.
Well, I mean, he's probably he's putting things out of reach, Jordan. Some people like to put things out of reach.
To bet on themselves.
Some people like to put things out of reach. That's what I'm going to start saying every time I get like curved by a girl's way out of my league. People can just put something plain out of reach. It just Jesus Christ. I am not. Oh boy, so that's fun. Also, the Celtics have lost 4 or 5.
Yeah, but like the Celtics, they'll be.
No, again, I talked about it. I did talk. Did we not talk about this? I'm like, well, at least now, like when they inevitably like slide, like at least I've seen them be good. At least they've like opened up. Like they've not been playing good. Like losing 2 straight to the Magic is not great.
The frisky Magic.
Hey, babe, Paulo's great. Did we talk about Paulo last week? Is that something we talked about on the show? That's something I've like talked about to you, like on my own time.
You mentioned Paulo, like his like first game. You told me that he had like the most points scored in an opening game since like LeBron, and then you haven't talked about him since.
Oh yeah, I've been talking about Paulo a lot. Oh yeah, you know who I was talking about Paulo to was a Sofia Guerrera. He's having like a long Insta conversation, long conversation on Instagram about Paulo Banchero. One of the finest Rick Women's basketball players I've ever seen. But yeah, no, not Paulo Banchero, Sofia Guerrera.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
I know. Talked about it on Instagram. She's a big Paulo fan too. Very good. Should be an all-star this year. He's a great player. Looked great in these games against the Celtics. Celtics have lost to the Magic 3 times.
You know, every dog has his day.
They got a real rivalry going on there now.
It's like
them and the Magic. Maybe I'm lying. They've only played them twice, but these two times they lost. So they're sliding a little bit, but it's okay. It's whatever. I'm a little upset that Tatum didn't play on Sunday to go to his kid's birthday party. I will say people will call me a hater. I'm a little bit annoyed. One would think maybe you schedule the birthday party, because you played on Friday, and then you played again on Sunday. One would think, you get the NBA schedule a fair bit in advance. Maybe you just schedule the birthday party on the Saturday, which is a better day to have it anyway, you'd think. Like, I'm sure it's a kid's birthday party, so it's probably over by like 4:00 anyway. But you
just don't understand the importance of family.
I know you just it's me, stupid me, thinking like, well, you get paid you're getting paid $30 million this year. Maybe one caveat to that is that you got to schedule your kid's birthday party around the work schedule. You have to work 3 days a week, but that's just me being a hater again. God bless him. Deuce had his first basketball practice yesterday. People posting it all over Twitter. He's hooping now. They had him at practice. The 10-foot hoop too. Maybe not. Maybe I don't think they put 5-year-olds on the 10-foot hoop. Actually,
I would hope not.
No, not a good way to develop skills. You just gotta like heave it to get it up there at that size. It's not you're not developing anything.
You gotta use your entire body.
Yeah, exactly. It's not you're not developing any good habits that way. But yeah, no. So Celtics are reeling a little bit. I'm still fine. I'm not in panic mode yet. Playing the frisky Pacers tomorrow though. The Pacers have been pretty frisky too.
They are pretty frisky.
The Tyrese Halliburton is crazy. Tyrese Halliburton is averaging 11 assists a game right now.
I didn't know that.
Tyrese Halliburton's playing crazy, like nuts. Yeah, Tyrese right now is averaging 20 and 11.
Yeah, they got some dogs on.
They do. Benedict Mathurin's been crazy this year. They still haven't traded all their players to the Lakers and probably won't now because the Lakers season is over. Anthony Davis is out for some indefinite amount of time.
Could be 2 weeks. Could be forever.
I saw a month, and then I started seeing indefinite. I'm like, well, indefinite's not a good word.
Well, what happened to his foot? I didn't.
No, he had to get surgery on it though.
Did he break it or
just the things that happen to your foot when you're 7'2" and you're coming down on it all the time?
Did he tear a tendon?
Not positive what exactly it was.
Fracture? Like what happened?
Not something good. Probably something
broke a toe or
probably worse than that. It's again when you're just that big and you're just coming down that hard, like if your body isn't quite built to if your bones just aren't built strong enough, like it's not good. So yeah, that's gonna be. I'm not panicking on the Celtics yet. I'm not pushing the panic button yet. I'm good. Yeah, I really wish Tatum had just scheduled his kid's birthday party for a different day. That just rubs me the wrong way. But also, like I understand the Celtics not wanting to give him crap about it because you want him to resign here. So what are you gonna do? Kind of had you held hostage a little bit there. But well, it's just 2 games to the Magic. It's fine. You actually just hurt the Magic's ability to get Wembanyama. They were just next leveling them actually because the Magic they can be pretty frisky real soon. You don't want them to get Wembanyama. So hurt their lottery odds. Good thinking there, Celtics.
You gotta keep Victor out of the East.
Exactly. Get him to the Rockets. Get him to the Spurs. Really? You see, what's the Rockets or the Spurs? You're like, no, Tatum. No kid's birthday party today. We got a pile on them. It's good. The Celtics are they're thinking on the next level. But yeah, that's all I got. You got anything else, Jordan?
No. I mean, I did a quick Google search. Apparently, no one knows what the actual injury is.
It's not. That means it's bad. That means it's very bad. That means he's not coming back.
Yeah, dude legit just broke his foot. And
that means he's not
telling anybody about it.
Yeah, that means he's not. If they're not telling you, that means he's not coming back. They're hiding it. Yeah, that means he's gone. He's done. Season's over. Have fun. Just shut LeBron down now. No reason to proceed.
I mean, well, he has to get Kareem's record. Then you can shut him down.
Get him next year. Get him next year. Shut him down. Shut him down. It's fine. Let Russ cook for the rest of the year. That could be fun. Nope. See, Jordan, this is why you don't trade. This is why they should have traded all their assets, Jordan. Well, I told you. This year wasn't worth it. Anthony Davis was like a top 5 MVP candidate for like a month there. It was crazy. I was all excited. Literally on Saturday, I was talking all about how good Anthony Davis has been this year. And then I think I jinxed him because I said, as long as he doesn't come down and hurt his foot. Watched him play against the Nuggets that night. They looked pretty good. Now we'll never see him again.
So that didn't even come down on it. Like he heard it like in air.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Like whatever. Like it's once you start like being consistently injured when you're that big in your lower body, it's just so hard to like stop that train. It's just so hard. Like those limbs weren't meant to be used explosively so regularly. But that's it. That's the show. All right, that's it. We're done. We'll be back next week. Check me out on Twitter at Jake R. Elmsley. Check out Jordan at true_world_king on Twitter and Instagram. Check out the YouTube. Check out the TikTok. We'll be back next week. Bye-bye.
Patriots suck.